Get ready with me and let's talk about going from a junior associate to a mid-level associate in big law. And I cannot believe I'm saying that because I started on TikTok when I was a junior associate about 2 years ago. And I cannot believe that I am already entering my third year of practice. Time literally flies by so quickly. First and foremost, you get way more responsibility. I would say that the expectation is that you're kind of running things on your own. You understand the process way better. And for more simple transactions, you're literally able to just run the deal by yourself. For more complicated deals, obviously, if there's a mid-level above you or a senior associate above you, then you kind of would still report to them. But for any task that you are given, you are expected to kind of run with it and understand the process. And you're not just thrown into the deep end all of a sudden when you become a third year. You're gradually given more responsibility over the course of your second year. And so you're kind of prepared for what that looks like. And obviously with more responsibility comes a lot more pressure. So you're definitely expected to know like the status of all the documents, understand, okay, like what do we need to do next, making sure that the partner is also on track, because sometimes you need to be following up with the partner to make sure that they're aware of the timeline. I also think that people expect you to start having more substantive knowledge. Now, by no means do people expect you to be an expert on the stuff that you're doing, but I do think that people expect you to start thinking more critically about things, especially if you're given like a set of facts by the client or opposing counsel. I think people also start to expect you to start making better judgment calls. So I think your first year, you don't really know how to do any of that because you have literally no experience. But, when you have a few years under your belt, you have more experience and people start to expect you to be able to make quick judgment calls or, just understand how to deal with certain problems or fire drills that may come up. And I would say a really big part of becoming a mid-level is now you are no longer the bottom person on the totem pole, and you will be most likely working with junior associates. And that means understanding how to provide good instructions and how to teach the people below you, because we were all junior associates at one point, and you have to be generous with your time when it comes to teaching people. And what that also means is you need to be double checking people's work. So since you're probably the one now assigning work to junior associates, you need to make sure that their work also is, has no errors and need to be reviewing it and stuff. So that is also on your plate in addition to the stuff that you're already doing. Also become way busier as you are working on reoccurring deals. You start to get more work. And one of the best parts about being a mid-level, in my opinion, is you get a little bit more predictability in your work. I don't get a ton of emails just randomly asking me to do things or really big fire drills. So it's really nice that I can kind of predict my workflow. And you can also start putting a little bit of boundaries. So, you don't have to be doing things immediately then and there unless the person asking you for it really does need it then and there. But most times you can kind of tell people like what you have on your plate and just kind of really set expectations, which is really nice. It's a little bit harder to do that as a junior associate. Overall, I would definitely say being a mid-level associate, the expectations are higher, the pressure is higher, but you do have a little bit more flexibility than you did before. You also just feel 10 times more confident than you did in years prior, which is an amazing feeling. So I really don't think it's all that bad. And I think being a mid-level is really a time for you to delve into your craft and just become an even better lawyer.